In my last video, we were on the hunt for Soviet fast food called Chebureki, and we found some pretty amazing ones. And I said to you that I know a lady that makes fabulous Chebureki, and she gave me her recipe, and today we're going to make them. And they're pretty damn authentic. I've had them and I'll tell you, they're as good as the one in the markets. The recipe is super simple to follow. You probably have the ingredients at home, and if you don't, you know, nothing strange here, nothing exotic. You can probably just get it from the shop around the corner. So, and the recipe, easy as 1, 2, 3. Anybody can do this. So if you feel like it, please enjoy these cheburekis. And if you do make them, let me know how they came out for you. But I really hope you enjoy this. So the ingredients you're going to need for these cheburekis are ground beef, 500 grams, 2 onions, flour, 500 grams, water, 250 milliliters, 1 egg, some yeast, salt and pepper, and oil for frying. First, we're going to start with making our dough. Get your flour, stick it into a bowl. Then you want to add the egg to it. Now, I recommend cracking the egg in a separate bowl to avoid getting any shells in there, because believe me, you'll never find them in the flour. Then you want to add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and optionally you can add a teaspoon of sugar and start mixing the ingredients together. Now, I would recommend doing this by hand. Even if you do have one of these Kenwood mixers, you can use that, but it's very important to get the right consistency, and this is how it's done traditionally. Now you want to add a bit of your water and just under a teaspoon of yeast. Now don't add all the water at once, because I'm told that every flour reacts differently. There's not an exact measure. So you may need a little more or not as much. So just add the water gradually and keep kneading until you reach the consistency you need. What we're looking to achieve is a smooth, pillowy, kind of spongy texture, as you can see here. Now cover your dough and let it rest for about an hour. So now we have the dough ready, and believe me, I'm not used to working with dough. I don't do this every day. So now that the dough is ready, the next step is to get a pickle, just like this, one nice big one. Get a pickle and eat it, because there's nothing better for a hangover except for this. Now for the filling of our cheburekis. Get your onion and dice it as small as you can. Then get your meat and put the onion on top. Crush the onion as hard as you can to get as much juice out of the onion as possible. Then mix in with the meat. Add a little water, some salt, and pepper, and continue mixing until well combined. Then you want to let your meat sit while you're preparing your dough. Make sure not to put it in the fridge, as you want it room temperature when cooking. Sprinkle some flour on your surface and get your dough that's been resting for about an hour. It should have doubled in size and look a little bit like this. Now roll out your dough into a sausage shape. Cut pieces of the dough of about 2 inches by 2 inches. Sprinkle some more flour on your surface, make a smiley face, and then roll the dough into a ball before flattening it down. That way, when you roll it out, you'll have the right shape. Now start rolling. Once your dough is about 20 centimeters in diameter, it'll be ready to be stuffed. You need it to be about 1 millimeter thin. Get your stuffing and put a generous amount, and then flatten it thinly so as it cooks fast, leaving enough space on the edge to close the pocket. Fold it over, press down along the edges, and get a knife to trim the excess pastry. Now get a fork and press down along the edges, creating a tight seal on the pastry. You should end up with something looking a little bit like this. Now we're ready to cook. Put some oil into a deep pan and start heating. Make sure you don't put the cheburek into cold oil. You need it bubbling. I usually test it with a stem of parsley. If it bubbles, the oil's ready. Now drop your chebureki in. They should float. They cook fast, about 1 to 2 minutes on each side. If you see any bubbles forming on the pastry, try and pierce them and flatten them. Flip once and cook the other side. You're trying to achieve this golden color. Take them out and put them on a plate to drain. And they're ready.
Well, there you have it, guys. Homemade chebureki. And I must say, for a first attempt, they came out pretty amazing. Now, if you have them like this, they're nice golden, crispy on the outside, soft in the middle, nice and warm. But if you want them kind of like elasticy and chewy, then you got to do it like in the market. And you get yourself one of these things, take one, throw it in there, wait about 10-15 minutes, and you will have the authentic experience of having them in the market. But me personally, I would like to have one right here, right now. Look at this beauty. They're absolutely amazing. And do yourselves a favor. Make them. They're easy. They're quick. And they're amazing. Once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate all the views and the comments that you guys left. And remember, enjoy your journey.